Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning. Welcome to the Norfolk Naval Shipyard Change of Command Ceremony. Attending today's ceremony are senior military officers, civilian officials, commanding officers of ships and shore activities, as well as family and friends of Captain Mossman, Rear Admiral Kavon Hakimzadeh, and Captain Lawrence Brandon. Thank you for being here. We are honored by your presence. The change of command ceremony that you're about to witness is not prescribed specifically by U.S. Navy regulations, but rather is a long-standing naval tradition formally restating the continuity of the authority of command to the men and women assigned to the unit. Only in the military does the instantaneous transfer of complete and total authority and responsibility from one individual to another exist. Today's ceremony is unique in that we will not only transfer responsibility of one command, Norfolk Naval Shipyard, but also establish a new command, Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations. Norfolk Naval Shipyard, attention. Bosun's mate, post aside, boys.
Aye, aye, sir.
Guests, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing during our national anthem and the invocation. Bandmaster, sound attention. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Norfolk Naval Shipyard, arriving. Rear Admiral, United States Navy, arriving. Naval Sea Systems Command, arriving. Color Guard, parade the colors.
Colors. Mark time. Mark. Colors. Halt. Hey. Halt.
retire the colors. Chaplain Van Dyke will now deliver the invocation.
If you care to join me as I pray, I invite you to bow your head with me. Gracious God, giver of every good gift, we thank you today for Captain James Jip Mossman and for his leadership over the past 2 years as commanding officer of Norfolk Naval Shipyard. Thank you for the gifts that you have given him and for the ways he has used them to oversee one of the most vital assets we have in our Navy for providing combat-ready ships to the fleet. Thank you for the ways you have prepared him for this work over the past 28 years in a variety of billets. Thank you for giving him the wisdom and patience not only to ensure the execution of maintenance to our submarines and carriers, but also to provide support and care for those under his charge. Thank you especially for the gifts you have given him and his wife Amy and his children RJ and Riley. Thank you for the ways they have supported and encouraged him during his time here. We commit to you now Rear Admiral Kavon Hakimzadeh as he assumes command, confident that you have given him both the gifts and experience necessary to lead this shipyard as they continue to support our national defense. Give him wisdom and perseverance, remembering the impact the work done here will have not only on our ability to accomplish our warfighting mission, but on the lives of countless sailors and their families. We pray that you would bless him and his wife Heather during their time here. And now, Almighty God, increase in all of us our commitment to the work you have given us to do. Help us to follow the example of these leaders as we serve together. And may all the glory and honor and thanks be unto you now and forever. Amen.
Boatswain's mate, retire the side boys.
Aye, aye, sir.
Norfolk Naval Shipyard, at ease. Guests, please be seated. Military guests may uncover. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander, Norfolk Naval Shipyard, Captain Jip Mossman.
Thank you, Captain Johns. Hey, good morning. I think it's great to see you. I'll tell you, we chose an outside venue in Virginia in the summer at some risk. It could be either 98 degrees or it could be raining, and I didn't want either. And luckily, today here we are and we have neither. So thank you very much for being here. It's great to see you. Today's change of command will look different from the shipyard's past change of command ceremonies. Rear Admiral Hakimzadeh, who has been working with the shipyard team for the past several weeks, will assume the role of shipyard commander. In this capacity, he will have authority and responsibility for the shipyard and subordinate activities, personnel, equipment, and operations. In addition to the change of command, during today's ceremony, we will establish the Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations Command with Captain Brandon as its commanding officer, where he will focus on work and processes core to shipyard operations. This is a great opportunity for America's shipyard having two outstanding leaders, both with unique strengths, extensive experience, and proven leadership, to both lead our shipyard to even greater achievements. Their combined expertise will be invaluable as we continue to excel in our mission, navigate our evolving organizational structure, and adapt to the challenges ahead. Thank you, Admiral Hack and Captain Brandon, for your service to this fine shipyard. I would now like to introduce the presiding officer for today's event. He is a graduate of the State University of New York, Albany. I'm not going to say what year, sir. And a 1997 graduate of the Naval Postgraduate School. He's had a number of at-sea and ashore tours in his career, and his flag tours include Commander, Navy Regional Maintenance Center, and Naval Sea Systems Command's Deputy Commander for Surface Warfare. Also the Program Executive Officer, Aircraft Carriers, and he was a special assistant to the Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Research, Development, and Acquisition. He became the 46th Commander of the Naval Sea Systems Command in January 2024, and as NAVSEA Commander, he oversees a global team responsible for the development, construction, delivery, and maintenance of the Navy's ships, submarines, and systems. Ladies and gentlemen, Vice Admiral Jim Downey.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And thanks, Chip, for that very nice introduction. And I'm glad you didn't tell him how old I am. So, good morning to the entire team here. And I'll ask, we're not streaming today, right? Okay, so I'm at my favorite shipyard. And it's just down the road from DC. So always great to get down to Norfolk and a center for all of the work we do here throughout the Navy, let alone the East Coast. How about a brief round of applause? There's a large set of shipmates here who have put this event together. Please help me in thanking them. To folks who worked on the event, thank you very much. For the rest of the military, feel free to uncover, all right? So I want to thank you and welcome you all to this very special ceremony today. This is a really significant moment in Norfolk Naval Shipyard's history. As Jip said, we're conducting not only a change of command, but ushering in a new organizational construct with truly exceptional leaders at the helm. We undertook this effort, as I deviate a little bit here, over 2 years ago. And it was really to look at the challenges globally in the world. Many of you have probably heard of the Davidson window, of our challenges related to protecting forces in Indo-PACOM, and our need to be ready. And so a lot of work going on there. And as we looked at the structure, we said, what a better place than Norfolk Naval to try to look at our carrier and submarine lines of effort and really focus together on increased support from Navy leadership to get these vessels out on time. So that's the point of what we're working on here. It may be a model for what we do in other shipyards and other areas, all right? So that's kind of the theme of what we've been working on. Other leaders going in place as well in both the submarine and carrier product lines. So multiple changes coming, and not a better place to do it than a nation's oldest shipyard. And I know this team here at Norfolk Naval stands ready to take on these hard challenges, continue with these hard challenges, and your Navy and nation appreciate that. And everything you're doing to get our submarines and aircraft carriers ready for their main role for the country. We have many distinguished guests today, and I'll just say that really starts with the shipyard workers. So how about a round of applause for all of our shipyard workers? While we do it quite a bit more in the naval shipyards on the government side, industry also plays a huge role. So how about a round of applause for all of our industry partners here today? Some other distinguished guests we have. I understand Gene Garland, a professional staff member from Senator Warner's staff, is here today. Welcome. I hope I have this right, and I apologize if I'm missing anybody. Several retired flags. Is Admiral Grooms and Admiral Hugo and Admiral Antonio with us? Yes? Yes. Very good. Thank you. And a retired SES, one of Norfolk Naval's own, our senior executive service, Jim Kenny. Is Jim with us today? Yes. Thank you all. Thank you guys very much for being here. Our active flags that are here, and really you have the center of maintenance for the Navy here today. So I'll reference these three flags, but I want you to take away from it is they oversee an operation together with the Pacific Fleet Maintenance Officer of 40,000 people globally, conducting our maintenance on about 15 nuclear vessels at a time and 30 to 50 non-nuclear ships globally. So Admiral Scott Brown is here as our Deputy Commander from Industrial Operations, or for Industrial Operations from my headquarters. Admiral Diana Wolfson, the Fleet Forces Maintenance Officer, is here with us, and Admiral Dan Lanneman, the commander of our regional maintenance centers, are here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. And locally here from our active SES side is Mr. Jeremy Largy is here, our nuclear engineering and planning manager right here at Norfolk Naval Shipyard, and our senior civilian at the shipyard. Welcome, Jeremy. Family members here today supporting HAC, LB, and JIP. I like the abbreviations, because there's at least one or two of those I would mess up, so I'll leave it that. Admiral Hakimzadeh's wife, Heather, is here, and I had the honor of meeting Heather this morning. Welcome, Heather. Welcome, and thanks so much for your support that you've given HAC over his career, and I know the numerous moves and challenges. And to LB's family. Welcome to his wife, Max. Great to see you here today, and their and daughters Miley and Zahara, 13 and 8, who both just competed in the Junior Olympics in Houston last week. Awesome. Quite a family of talented athletes. I'm sure they get that from their mom. Congratulations to all of you. LB, you are now moving into the Senior Olympics. I hope you've been training, because you're going to be running pretty hard here. LB is also very proud to have his mother Teresa here, along with his other brother Levi and his big sister Vedada. Welcome very much. I hope all of you keep LB humble, and I'm sure you do. And to the Mossman family, welcome to Chip's wife, Amy. So good to talk with you a bit this morning. And I understand you and Chip met in Colorado at the State University and have been married since '99. That's pretty awesome. And to their kids who, and there's a reason why I mentioned Colorado, that's coming back up here in a couple minutes. And to their kids who are no doubt very proud of their dad today. Daughter Riley, who's 13, great student and gymnast. Riley, your dad enjoys spending time with you and watching your gymnastic events and ignoring my phone calls when I ask, and how are things going? And their son, RJ, who is 16, sophomore in high school, RJ. Awesome. And your dad says you're a pretty good student and an awesome computer gamer. I told him to up the Wi-Fi at home, okay? So we're really grateful to have all of you here. We are especially grateful for your sacrifice through many years to support these remarkable leaders, the Navy and the nation that they protect. Thank you very much. And to the Admiral HAC, as Chip can tell you, I know he's pretty much walked about every inch of this historic shipyard. This shipyard is incredibly special. It's special to the people who work here, to the community, to the Navy, to the nation. Norfolk Naval Shipyard predates the U.S. Navy by 8 years and the Department of the Navy by 31 years. Just take that in for a second as we celebrate this year the Navy's 250th birthday. After the Revolutionary War, one of the nation's first 6 frigates was built here, the Chesapeake in 1791. If you haven't read 6 frigates, read it. You will conclude nothing has really changed in shipbuilding in the last 250 years. Challenges in such a complex environment. The yard is operated under 4 flags, those of Great Britain, the state of Virginia, the Confederate Navy for a bit, and the U.S. Navy. Your predecessors built the Navy's first flight deck in 1910, and with HAC here as an aviator, I think very appropriate, Eugene Ely took off from the USS Birmingham in Hampton Roads and landed his aircraft in Norfolk. Between 1919 and 1922, Norfolk Naval Shipyards converted the USS Jupiter to become the USS Langley, the Navy's first aircraft carrier. During World War II, 43,000 workers built nearly 30 major vessels, repaired 6,850 U.S. and Allied ships, and 20 tank landing ships and 50 medium landing ships. In '65, the shipyard completed the first modern submarine major overhaul on the USS Skate, SSN 578, an amazing legacy that has shaped all of you and the shipyard and the country. And today, this facility remains the second largest the nation's most critical vessels are nuclear submarines and aircraft carriers. Your work ensures the operational readiness of the fleet, hands down. And the significance of our nation cannot be fully understood except in the context of our current naval operations. The Navy is engaged right now in highly complex and uncertain security environments globally. For more than a year, for more than 18 months, we've watched our ships conduct operations in places like the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, where our carrier strike groups have defended merchant ships and regional allies from attacks. We've seen our ships and sailors carry out offensive and defensive strikes in life and death situations. Conflict is requiring all of us to double down on our everyday performance. We have to ensure the details that we have here, our work packages, are shaped properly and are executable. It is impossible to fix a bad plan in execution. Okay, you folks tend to hear me say that a lot. And we need to continue moving those key planning elements to the left to support the availability and lethality of our carrier strike groups and our submarines. We got to meet Hack while you all were working on a ship right here, and I was in a prior job. Commanded USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group 2. Served 5 tours in the Pentagon, which he probably regrets, and in OpNav and on the Joint Staff, all of which gave him a unique strategic perspective on fleet readiness priorities. Welcome aboard, Hack, to you and your family. I'd also like to congratulate LB, Captain Lawrence Brandon, on assuming command of this newly established Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations Command. I want to share with you, it's people like our new CNO, our VCNO, our Secretary of the Navy that have been personally involved in shaping this new command structure. That is not an overstatement by any means. While HAC will be focused on carrier and submarine maintenance execution, LB will be overseeing nuclear work and core shipyard processes in support of HAC and our ships. This specialized command structure is going to help us manage the Navy's most complex and sensitive maintenance operations. Together with all of you, they'll work with a winning mentality to drive performance, maintaining America's strategic deterrence and power projection capabilities, which many around the world are relying on directly from you. LB is coming to NAVSEA from Admiral Brown's organization, where he's been serving as the principal military deputy there for the last year. LB has distinguished himself throughout his career, serving as the Director of Aircraft Carrier Maintenance at Fleet Forces Command, Chief Engineer aboard GW, the George Washington, during its RCOH, and Maritime Readiness Branch Head at OpNav. Before coming to NAVSEA headquarters, LB served here in the shipyard, of course, as the Business and Strategic Planning Officer and as Operations Officer. But it's much more than that. And As you get to know the captain, I think you'll see he really started his career here as a third-class petty officer many years ago. LB, thank you for taking on this important role. I can't think of anyone else more qualified to lead this new mission, especially with your long history here aligned closely with the start of your career. Thank you, and welcome aboard to you and your family. Finally, I want to recognize Captain Mossman. Jip is handing over command, heading over to Admiral Lanneman's organization, to the Commander Navy Regional Maintenance Center, to serve there as his Chief of Staff, where he'll get some of those same phone calls I was referring to earlier. Just this past March, to give a symbol of dedication to maintenance in the Norfolk waterfront, we restructured our Regional Maintenance Center to allow a commander to focus on those initiatives, meaning we put another flag officer in maintenance where we had taken one away about 10 years ago. A very significant move without any additional flag officers being added to the Navy. So that's a signal of how important it is to this larger enterprise. CNRMC oversees the operations of those regional maintenance centers, about 10 locations globally, and it's a big task that they execute for their non-nuclear ships and some of the topside work on the nuclear ships. Those centers conduct depot and intermediate maintenance for the Navy, just like the naval shipyards do. And Amy, before I close, I want you to know that a few months ago, Jip and I had a conversation in a Pentagon parking lot. We talked about the importance of family and Jip's pride in his family and his desire to put you and the kids first. For those of you who may not know, Jip is from a small town with a population just north of 2,000 in Granby, Colorado. He's carried with him a sea chest of, quote, small town values, unquote, throughout his 29-year career. Pretty amazing. Jip has always focused on the fundamentals, like taking time for what we refer to as Gemba walks, or just walking the production line to see what the status of the ship is and why, to build relationships. It's not necessarily to check up on the work. It's to build relationships with the people actually doing the work. He watches how a process is done. He listens to the people closest to the work, and he figures out how to increase value for them to be as efficient as they can to get our vessels done. And he has a passion for mentoring. Looking back on his time leading Norfolk Naval Shipyard, here's what success looks like. Supporting 11,000 sailors and civilians, overseeing the completion of major planned incremental availabilities for carriers Truman and Bush. And Bush, a shout out to the team here, completed on time a major availability, the first time since 2017. Congratulations to the team. Just these two availabilities represented efforts of more than 670,000 man-days of work and reflect the tremendous skill required to return these combatants to the fleet. Jip also marshaled teams to support the emergent collision repairs aboard Truman a few months ago, which enabled the carrier to return to normal operations in less than a week. Having been personally involved with that, I'll share with you, it was a call directly from the CNO on a Thursday night. The team formed up Friday morning about 0600, was en route and on site in Greece on Saturday, and fully assessed the ship by Sunday. And from Monday to Friday, 100 people who went forward had the ship ready to get underway by the end of the day. Amazing operation when people are enabled to get their work done, and some of us get out of the way. Great job there. He's also led complex tabletop training scenarios in a highly complex major carrier fire scenario that stressed the limits of mutual aid resources. He developed organizational values and led programs to improve sailor welfare and improve workforce retention, which included wage grade pay increases and hiring incentives for engineers. Bravo Zulu, Chip. In closing, guys, you have a lot of work ahead, but all of you are masters of the art of the possible. Continue to work together and achieve those goals. I know you will continue that and find more efficient ways to repair and maintain the warships that serve our sailors and protect and defend the American people and our regional partners. Congratulations on leading America's shipyard team. Keep focused on the shipyard's core values: care, ownership, respect, and excellence. Keep pressing hard, and as always, never give up the ship. Thank you.
All right, hey, good morning, distinguished guests, family members, fellow service members, and Norfolk Naval Shipyard personnel. Thank you for being here today. I'm humbled and honored that you're here to witness the ceremony and celebrate with me the great things that have been done here at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. What makes it even better is that we get to be here in the jewel of the shipyard, Trophy Park. Isn't the park looking great? As you've heard, over 257 years ago, the land that you're sitting or standing on today, and that right over there by the river, under that building, under that parking lot, formed the establishment of Gosport Navy Yard. It's an honor to be here today, over a quarter millennium later, to execute this ceremony. Today marks the culmination of 2 extraordinary years in my career and of efforts of this phenomenal workforce. I've had the privilege of commanding 2 of our naval shipyards now, and after 4 years and 8 months in command, but who's counting, it is a bittersweet day for me to be turning over the reins of this organization. Any change of command means that one chapter closes and another opens. At Norfolk Naval Shipyard, this change of command is unique and historic, as you have heard. I'm essentially turning over to 2 individuals. Admiral Hack, as you've heard, will be assuming the title of Commander, Norfolk Naval Shipyard. And Captain Brandon will be assuming the role of Commanding Officer, Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations Command. This ceremony will have some unique aspects to it and will be one for the Norfolk Naval Shipyard history books as we go from 1 to 2 commands operating in the yard. As I prepare to transfer command, I reflect on what we have accomplished together since I first had the honor of taking the helm of this magnificent shipyard. The past 26 months have been defined not by individual achievement, but by collective excellence, unwavering dedication, and a shared commitment to our Navy's mission. I'm up here today able to boast about what this shipyard does, not because of what I did. No, I'm here to talk about what the team did, what you did. I honestly don't do much, but I get to lead and work with a great team of passionate patriots who make it all happen. I want to recap some of the Norfolk Naval Shipyard accomplishments, and you've heard some already, but I'm proud of these, and I want to make sure we celebrate them. They stand as a testament to what we can accomplish when we work together, support each other, and stay focused on the mission. These are just some of the remarkable achievements that showcase the caliber of this organization and its people. To start, our operational performance has been outstanding. At FMB, our intermediate level effort at Naval Station Norfolk, working on the submarines, completed numerous CMAVs, 31 voyage repair availabilities, 14 emergent availabilities, and 5 critical flyaways. Our off-yard aircraft carrier team accomplished 30 WOOs, which is a window of opportunity for those that don't speak that lingo, plus an additional 12 flyaways, including the emergent repairs of USS Harry S. Truman, as you've heard about. In the shipyard here, we completed USS Harry S. Truman's FY23 PIA. Wait a minute, I'm on the East Coast, it's PIA over here. PIA in January 2024. And most notably, USS George H.W. Bush's PIA was completed on time last November, marking our first on-time carrier PIA completion in 7 years. We successfully supported USS Gerald R. Ford's SIA, there is no SIA, it's just SIA, completion in June 2024, USS Wyoming's emergent steam generator valve repair in May of 24, and completed the complex fuel removal operation of MTS Samuel Rayburn. Continuing into 25, this year brought the successful start of USS Dwight D. Eisenhower's PIA, USS Toledo's EOH completion, and the ex-MTS Rayburn's final tow to Puget Sound Naval Shipyard. We finished Montpelier's EOH rip out ahead of schedule, USS John Warner's EDSRA cold ops early, and finished MARF's FY25 inactivation defueling 6 weeks ahead of schedule. But not only do we drive to accomplish our mission, we take pride in how we develop our personnel. Our investment in people reached new heights with 2,017 new shipyard hires and 520 new apprentices joining our ranks. We celebrated 344 apprentice graduates with 90 more to graduate this fall. 317 first-line supervisor high-velocity course graduates and 4 executive development program graduates, each representing the future of the Navy shipyards. Our people experience team has revolutionized recruitment, taking ownership of the full life cycle for new engineers and apprentices, establishing the Norfolk Naval Shipyard Skill Bridge program, and hosting innovative Find Your Path Expo events. Now, I often share that this shipyard does not run on oil and gears and machines. It runs on people. If we don't take care of and support the people, we will not be successful. We've made it a focus to improve the support of our workforce, and here are a few of those examples. We now have Panacea counseling services available at the fitness center. We have 24/7 fitness center operations with new equipment. We had a remodeled NEX with a hot bar, which is a pretty hot commodity. We extended the Pierside Cafe hours. We reestablished the Norfolk Naval Shipyard shuttle. We remodeled and updated the subway. We restriped the crosswalks and blinking crosswalk signs. And we piloted a program to allow civilian employees to shop at the Scott Center Commissary. But we cannot accomplish our mission without our infrastructure. As I've mentioned, Norfolk Shipyard has been around just a few years, so investment and modernization is of the utmost importance. We invested nearly $15 million in tools and equipment, including several million in new battery-operated tools and approximately $9 million in individual toolkits for our mechanics. That's right, every mechanic has received or will receive a backpack toolkit with all the common tools needed for their trade. We established 114 point-of-use consumable hubs, opened the waterfront core store, and made our shipyard destruction center fully compliant and operational. Major facility improvements included new IT cafes in 3 buildings and a new one-of-a-kind, and I mean really like the only one in the world, 60-foot by 30-foot roll-up door in Building 163. And a renovation of our Building 1500 command briefing room. For 2025, we received $32 million toward our $50 million goal of capital improvement projects. We have the new 80-ton bridge crane in Building 163 Sea Bay installation in progress. We just recently commissioned and completed the installation of a new shaft lathe, which is a 7-year adventure to get to that point. I was excited to be there. We've also installed 5-axis routers. We awarded the triplex construction project and began critical repair work for berth 40 and 41, with pile driving complete and demolition in progress. Dry Dock 8 upgrades are progressing well, and the planning for Dry Dock 3 upgrades is well underway. From an innovation and technology perspective, we are working to lead the shipyards in the application of the tools. Our innovation lab delivered over 200 additive manufacturing projects, while our RFID material tracking system now monitors over 10,000 parts on John Warner project. Shop 31's model line innovation saved 115 days of schedule on a large subsafe valve. We installed cutting-edge equipment including laser cutters, water jets, wire EDMs, all backed by over $5 million in industrial plant awards. Our digital crew boards have been deployed to Code 900 and are expanding to non-production shops, modernizing how we manage our workforce. During my time here, as you heard, we also made history by standing up Naval Support Activity Portsmouth, Virginia, splitting the installation from Norfolk Naval Shipyard Operations. Change is upon us, and we've adopted an approach to embrace that change to the maximum extent possible. All these accomplishments that I've shared are just a small sampling of the literally millions of great things that occur here every year. Please join me in a huge round of applause for what the men and women of Norfolk Naval Shipyard and our support activities have accomplished. All right, so now before I drop the mic and run off the stage, I thought I'd share a little what drives me, and I hope what will stick with those I've spent time with over the past few years. I truly believe in the philosophy that there is no good news or bad news, there's just news. It's what you do with the news that defines your leadership. Finding root causes, determining action forward, setting expectations, mentoring and coaching, and always learning is what is most important. I'm a firm believer in staying level-headed and tackling problems and challenges and tasks with a rational, fact-based approach. No matter what happens, we will figure out a way forward. I also believe that in addition to what I do with the news, my primary job is to build the environment in which my team operates. I do my best to share the why behind what we are doing. I work to foster and maintain a positive environment where each person feels safe and empowered to reach their greatest potential. I try to manage change and always put myself in the shoes of those under my command to try to understand how to best communicate. I seek feedback and spend time self-reflecting and self-assessing. I desire to work at the right level and empower those around me to own their work and make decisions. And most importantly, I recognize and embrace the fact that we are all humans and none of us are perfect. We all must continuously learn from our education, from those around us, from our own experiences, and most importantly, from the mistakes that we make. To me, building what I call a safe-to-learn environment is my mission as a leader. With that environment as a foundation, the team will rise to deliver and accomplish what is needed, no matter how insurmountable the challenges may seem. We often say that hope is not a plan, but I hope that my efforts to build the right environment have paid off, and that the thousands of leaders in this shipyard strive to build similar environments for their teams. I will tell you, I walk away from this tour forever changed and influenced by the great people who work here. I will never forget you and all you do. This shipyard is full of people who have the right attitude, the right motivation, and the right skills to deliver any ship, anywhere, anytime. My hat is off to you, Norfolk Naval Shipyard. Be very proud of who you are, what you stand for, and what you do. You have my utmost respect, and I appreciate you, every single one of you. Okay, I know the weather seems to be blowing in here, but hang with me for a few more minutes. I know you don't want to listen to me drone on forever, but I thought I'd try to give you a Dave Letterman-style top 10 list to wrap this up. It's a meager, and I will highlight meager attempt at humor from me to share what I think makes my job the best job to have. Plus, I'll expand a little bit on each of the top 10 and a little why behind them. Believe me, there are thousands of reasons that I love what I do, but here we go. And for you, Admiral and Captain, I hope you find similar reasons for you to like this job. All right, number one. Well, that's not number one. You start at number 10 and go backwards. Here are the top 10 reasons why it's great to be a shipyard commander. Number 10, you don't need to wear a watch. There are people around you to keep you on task, make sure you're in the right place, and push you to be on time. And you get a call every night from the command duty officer at 8 p.m. And really, that's the indication it's time to go to bed. The reality is that it takes a village to keep a shipyard commander making contact in all the right places. As shipyard CEO, I've been blessed by having only the best help keep me on task. To Miss Angie, who couldn't be here today, and many, many others, thank you. Number 9, you and Microsoft Outlook get to spend some quality time together. A shipyard CEO has never-ending email inbox filled with all kinds of topics, information, news, actions, and more often than not, issues. Security issues, parking issues, traffic issues, material issues, project issues, personnel issues, email issues. Truthfully, though, what I love about my job is that it's the hub of communications. It's like being the world's most expensive switchboard operator. Hardest thing we do is communicate, and as CEO, I'm the heart of that communication, and I get to set those standards. I make sure that A talks to B, and C knows what A knows, etc. But I will tell you that while I don't love that a large amount of our communications happens over email and would absolutely prefer to have a face-to-face conversation with every person, I respect the fact that information sharing and communication can happen extremely fast in today's tools. It takes some quality time in that medium to keep up and keep the communications flowing. All right, number 8. You get to spend some time in deep holes in the ground with no elevators. The shipyard CO spends time in many places, but one of the most unique is in the deep, large holes we call dry docks. The docks that are in this shipyard are national assets, and there are really only a small number of them in the entire country. How many other people in the world get to spend time below sea level, under a nuclear-powered submarine or an aircraft carrier? We take it for granted, but what we do is pretty cool when we're in these big, large bathtubs. Number 7, you are the landlord of a 257-year-old facility. Norfolk Naval Shipyard was founded on November 1st, 1767. So we're coming up on our 258th birthday, where the average age of our buildings is 86 years old. Some of the structures around you right now are nearly 200 years old. Think about this, from wooden ships to nuclear-powered vessels and everything in between, while operating under 4 different flags, through multiple wars, and several attempts to burn the shipyard down, not recently, by the way. This shipyard has literally seen it all. It is an absolute honor to be part of the amazing history of Norfolk Naval Shipyard. Number 6, nothing says stylish like a hard hat and safety glasses. Safety is our top priority, and it's important that each of us return home each night in the same or even better shape than we arrived. And I'll be honest with you, the shipyard is an inherently dangerous industrial environment, full of loud noises, industrial sounds, tight areas, and torturous paths to get anywhere. What we do here is not easy, but we do it safely and protect ourselves and others from harm. All right, halfway, hang in there. Number 5, you will never be bored again. With a calendar, a long to-do list, and a constant request from outside the lifelines to improve performance, a shipyard CO doesn't have much downtime. The reality is that it takes a special kind of person with lots of stamina. To me, though, the energy put in is returned back tenfold. A new challenge exists every day that you and your team must overcome, and it's motivating to see those solutions materialize and see your people proud of their accomplishments. Number 4, you have your own lawyer. Actually, 10 of them. A shipyard is like a mini city with police, fire, medical, public works, public affairs, inspectors general, and legal, just to name a few, all right here in the confines of the shipyard. We don't have to go far to get help and advice when you need or want it. And honestly, the support for a shipyard commander is phenomenal. No one person can do all that has to be done, and having the support at your fingertips is something that you won't have again anywhere else in your life. Number 3, your family is huge. With a workforce that's nearly 11,000 people strong, you won't have any trouble finding someone to talk to spend time with, to mentor, to be mentored by. I'm very proud that I say that I've had thousands of people work for me over my career and probably tens of thousands of conversations with the workforce. Most of them will never know the impact they had on me and the memories I will keep of them. Now, my family is here in the front row, but my work family is surrounding us. Thank you for being the best that there is. The number 2 reason, you're famous. Over the last several years, as Admiral Downey mentioned, I've seen the shipyards become more and more the topic of discussion at very, very high levels in the Navy. It's for a good reason, because what the world has brewing for the Navy's future absolutely requires the shipyards to execute their mission. No matter what adversary or win, we have a duty to make sure our sailors and ships are ready to answer the call when needed to defend our nation and our way of life. Truly, it's an honor to be able to interact with senior Navy leadership, something I never dreamed of doing when I was younger. Being on a first-name basis with the CNO and the vice CNO, well, maybe they called me by my first name. I still had to say sir or ma'am. It's pretty wild. Just think about this. They are responsible for over 600,000 sailors, civilian, and reservists. But due to the importance of what we do in the shipyards, they know the 4 shipyard CEOs by name. And they call on us when we least expect it. And I have a couple good stories if you ever want to hear them. And the number one reason, finally got the number one reason why it's great to be a shipyard commander, it's the people you work with. I come to work every day and interact with the finest people in America who are extremely talented, passionate about the mission, and an absolute joy to work with. I'm only standing here because of you, which is a good segue into closing this speech, which I'm sure what you want. To the exceptional men and women of this shipyard, your professionalism, expertise, and dedication have been the foundation of every success I described. From our apprentices taking their first steps in naval ship repair, to our master craftsmen passing down generations of knowledge, to the engineers writing technical instructions, to the support staff making sure the business of the shipyard continues to flow. You are the backbone of an American naval power. Thank you for your service. To the families who support our service members and the civilian workforce, your sacrifice enables everything we accomplish. The long hours and demanding schedules our people maintain are possible only because of your unwavering support. To my leadership team and department heads, your counsel, expertise, and friendship have made me a better leader, and this shipyard is a stronger organization. You will always be in my heart and on my mind. It's been an honor to sit at the table with you. To my family, there aren't enough words in the English language to express how much you mean to me. I truly am only to be here because of you. Amy, RJ, Riley, I love you with all my heart and am forever in your debt for the sacrifices you make and the support you give. Now, as I transfer command to my reliefs, that's a weird word, reliefs, I do so with complete confidence in both leaders and the team that will carry this shipyard forward. They inherit an organization that is not just performing well, but is positioned for even greater achievements tomorrow. The foundation we built together in our people, our processes, and our facilities positions this shipyard for continued excellence. The momentum you created in 2023, 2024, and 2025 demonstrates that this organization knows how to achieve its goals while maintaining the highest standards of quality and safety. Command of this shipyard has been the highlight of my naval career. While I am proud of what we've accomplished together, I'm even more excited about what lies ahead for this organization under new leadership. You have proven that no challenge is too great, no timeline too ambitious, and no standard too high when we work together with shared purpose and commitment to excellence. You have taken on the challenge to get to yes, and the Navy and the nation appreciate that. Thank you for your service, your dedication, and the honor of serving with you. Fair winds and following seas, Norfolk Naval Shipyard.
At this time, we will read orders for Captain Mossman and Rear Admiral Hakimzadeh for the official turnover as shipyard commander, and read orders for Captain Brandon to establish the new Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations Command. Will the guests please rise for the reading of orders? Norfolk Naval Shipyard, attention.
Bupers Order 2423, when directed by Reporting Senior, detach in August 2025 from duty as Commander, Norfolk Naval Shipyard, and proceed to your next assignment as Chief of Staff, Navy Regional Maintenance Center. I'm ready to be relieved.
Captain Lawrence Brandon, United States Navy.
I will now read my orders. Bupers Orders 8395, report no later than August 2025 as Commander, Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations. I am ready to assume command.
Rear Admiral Kavon Hakimzadeh, United States Navy.
I will now read my orders. Bupers Order 1645, report load later than August 2025 as Commander, Norfolk Naval Shipyard. Captain Mossman, I am ready to relieve you, sir.
Norfolk Naval Shipyard, at ease. Will the guests please be seated? Ladies and gentlemen, Commander, Norfolk Naval Shipyard, Rear Admiral Kavon Hakimzadeh.
Good morning, everybody. I've been aboard for 7 weeks now, and have been. It's interesting coming to this day. It's been a thrill to be here. It's been an absolute privilege getting to meet a lot of you, and I can't express how happy I am to be here. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today to celebrate Jip Mossman's fantastic tour here at America's Shipyard. And to welcome back a Norfolk Naval Shipyard stalwart, Captain L.B. Brandon, the gentleman who probably knows this yard and this team better than anyone who's wearing the uniform today. You talk about somebody who knows this place in detail. It's great to have him back. I am acutely aware this morning that I am my position is the elephant in the gazebo today. Everybody's looking and wondering, okay, what is this all about? Who is this guy? Why does this look different? The fact that this is a three-way ceremony, and I'm just the extra guy standing up here, it is unusual to say the least, so I'm just going to lean into it. Just going to lean into it. We had a different plan for this ceremony. We thought it was going to look extremely different a few months ago. It was going to be a lot more traditional. And, everybody here knew about it, was briefed on it. And I know many of you out there were looking forward to the opportunity that presented for this shipyard. I recognize that. Frankly, we had a different plan just a couple of weeks ago as to what things were going to look like here. But that has also changed. What you are seeing up here today is definitely not the preservation of the status quo. Replacing one, admittedly, very, very capable captain with 3 captains and an admiral represents a profound change in the way that we're expected to do business here at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. I ask you to appreciate the thought and the effort that went into that decision, and what does all this going on here today, what does this represent? It represents the Secretary of the Navy and the incoming Chief of Naval Operations commitment to turning America's shipyard into America's best shipyard. They have demonstrated their commitment by assigning 1 captain in charge of submarine work, 1 captain to focus on aircraft carriers, and they've assigned LB to focus almost exclusively on our workforce and our infrastructure. The guy who knows the workforce and infrastructure here in Norfolk Shipyard better than any one of us here is going to be assigned to focus his full attention onto that business. That is an incredibly good thing. What does that mean for you? It means your voices and your needs are going to be better heard now. It's because your uniformed leadership is actually going to have time to be able to listen to you. That is an incredible thing, and I want to applaud that right now. You're going to hear from LB, and you heard from Jip, the focus on workforce, the focus, the stuff that we've done here, the incredible work that this team has done to take care of the individual, to provide us with the best services we can. You've heard all of that. My mandate is very clear. I'm here about the work. I'm here about production. My job is barrier removal. And I've walked around for a while, and I know many of you out there have heard me say that, but I'm not really sure I've made it kind of clear what barrier removal means. Over the course of my listening tour that I've had here for about the last 7 weeks, I have heard multiple times you know, sir, I would do my job better this way or that way if only they would let me do it. Well, my friends, that excuse has got to be gone today, because I'm here to tell you, I am they, okay? I am they, and I'm telling you, you are authorized to do your job better. I think I'm going to buy myself a t-shirt that says, I am they. I'm just going to walk around the shipyard, okay? There is no they, there's this, okay? And I'm telling you, I'm going to cut you loose to do what you need to do to get your job done better. You've wanted it, you've asked for it, you're going to get it. The other narrative I've heard, actually more times than I thought, is, well, sir, you know what, in wartime, all this nonsense and bureaucracy, that's all going to go away. We're going to really be able to get to work at that point. Or words to that effect. Please allow me at this point to remind you, as Admiral Downey pointed out to the Davidson window, we are 511 days away from when our peer threat out there told us, and they never lie, they told us they are ready to fight. 511 days. I will also remind you that they have 200 times our shipbuilding and our ship repair capacity. The time to eliminate the nonsense, the bureaucracy, all that stuff that's holding us back, okay, that time is right now. As long as it is not unsafe or illegal, let's get after it. They authorize you to do that, okay? To that end, we're going to focus on, when it comes to work, we're going to focus on three things at this shipyard, okay? One, leaders need to lead, okay? Leaders need to lead. Effective leaders listen, they follow up, they support, they communicate, they solve problems, and they clear the path for the team to work. And they especially hold their team accountable for their work. If a project is 10 certs short for the week, the discussion doesn't turn into, okay, well, boss, when are we going home? The conversation becomes, how are we going to get these certs done before we get to go home? Leaders are supposed to work way harder than their people. This is what I expect from the leadership at all levels at our shipyard. Number two, workers need to work. Sounds pretty fundamental. Workers need to work. But not getting enough done in a workday, that's a bad habit that requires a two-part fix. First, leaders need to lay out the right amount of work to get done in a shift. They need to enable our mechanics to complete that work in a shift. And second, our mechanics need to complete that work in a shift and make sure that the leaders know that if it's something that's preventing them from doing it, they need to be cleared out. Communication's got to go up. These two actions alone will greatly accelerate our performance from where we are now. And it's about acceleration. Remember I said 511 days, okay? It's not just on time anymore. Now it's early. It's accelerate, okay? It's accelerate. Finally, number three, you've heard these words going around. Let me make it clear to everybody. Focus and finish is our plan. In the coming weeks and months, you're going to hear us talking about focus and finish a lot. What that means for us is actually really simple. It means we're going back to the basics. Okay? We're going back to what many of you remember as work gangs, you know, where you got a multidisciplinary team that is built around the mechanic that will complete not just one job, but a complete bucket of work, a string of jobs. We're going to get away from what we deal with right now, which is I'm doing a little bit of work, then I wait, and then I do a little bit more work. Our work gangs are going to be built, and they're going to be empowered to solve their own problems. We are going to wait around less for paper. The number one complaint I hear is, I'm waiting for paper, I'm waiting for paper. Let's attack that. Let's attack that. Number 2 is, I'm waiting for material. I'm waiting for material. Let's attack that, friends. Let's attack it. The teams are going to include supervisors, engineers, supply, mechanic assistants, quality assurance, and whatever else skill sets are needed to be able to do the job. All going to be led by a zone manager, going to be led by a general foreman, who's going to be spending their time with the team, not sitting around filling out payroll and paperwork for 7 hours out of 8-hour shift. But they're also going to be held accountable to complete their work string on time. A perfect example of focus and finish. We've had one of them listed up here already today. USS Harry S. Truman, just recently. Huge success for this organization. We put 100 people on airplanes. We said, here's what we think is going on over on that ship. You've got 7 days, friends. Get over to Greece and make it happen. And 100 people flew over there, self-sufficient team, reached back to home here, and they got that ship underway as the Admiral laid out. 5 days. 5 days from a ship that had the side bashed in. That's what y'all are capable of. Okay? That's what I see and that's what I celebrate. You know what they didn't have to do? They didn't have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork. They didn't have to sit around and worry about, signing up somebody's payroll and material and all that. They got to focus on work. That's what they know how to do. That's what we know how to do. Another example I want to give just for to recognize that can actually happen within the confines of Norfolk Naval Shipyard. Code 109 just had a huge success just a couple of weeks ago. Code 109 is our IT department, for those of you who don't speak shipyard. They were required to, for the New Hampshire project coming in, they had to get the trailer all wired up for IT, there's computers and all that stuff. And I know this is going to sound weird to some of you, but there was some delays. There was some delays in getting there. Oh, we can't get in there today. We can't get in there today. Took a while to finally get to the position where we had what we needed to put in, and then we had the trailers available to do it. They predicted the job was going to take 7 work days. 7 work days. The whole team got together. Everybody in the shop got together. They had the material they needed. They went over to the trailers together, hand over hand, getting everything set up. They did 7 work days worth of work in 4 hours, friends. 4 hours. That's what focus and finish is about. We work together. We make sure that we don't just send somebody off and have them hand off something to somebody else and somebody else. We go in together, we get it done, we get it knocked out, we move to the next thing. All of a sudden, I'm a better welder, I'm a better electrician, I'm a better mechanic than I was when I showed up at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. That's what we're going to do for ourselves. Well done to that team. Our schedules are going to get more aggressive. I think you may have picked that implication up in my words. They will be intimidating. And many of us, our natural reaction is going to be a little bit of resistance. I remind you that kind of when that urge arises within you, when you go, you know what, this is uncomfortable. I'm in a place of discomfort right now. Remember who you envisioned yourself to be when you signed up to do this work. Remember, 20, 30, 40 plus years ago for some of y'all, what you wanted, what you signed up for when you came aboard here, okay? You signed up to be the best. You worked hard to be the best. You deserve to be the best. Aggressive, radical change is what's going to get us there, and it's truly going to make America's shipyard America's best shipyard. Thank you very much for all of you who have taken the time to attend here today. And a truly heartfelt thanks. I'm going to echo what Jip said for your service, for those professionals who dedicate themselves to do this important work. It is an absolute privilege to join this team. I look forward to talking to each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Sir, Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations, Captain Lawrence Brandon.
Good morning. First and foremost, I want to thank God for blessing me with this opportunity, for providing clarity and purpose in my life. I'm humbled to stand here today. My brother and sisters are pastors, so I promise I'll keep this short. I recognize that it's Friday, not Sunday. But knowing that God has set me on a path that hasn't been walked before requires faith and conviction, and I'm forever thankful. I'd like to begin by extending my sincere gratitude to Vice Admiral Downey and Vice Admiral Grooms. I wouldn't be an EDO today if it wasn't for you 20 years ago. Thank you. Rear Admiral Hugel and Antonio, it is good to see once the EDO life is over for us that there's still vigor and happiness. It is good to see you guys. And for Rear Admirals Wolfson, Brown, and Lanneman, I appreciate you taking the time to spend with me today. Mr. Kenny, I think the last time we talked I was getting in trouble, but thank you for coming anyway. And Mr. Mosier, my boss in the Pentagon, thank you for coming. I feel like there's a joke in here somewhere. How many admirals or SESs does it take to conduct a change of command? I don't know, but all of those folks would probably have different answers and they'd all be right. But in all seriousness, the mentorship and guidance that these individuals have provided, I know myself through my career and JIP as well, has been invaluable. And I would not be standing here today without their willingness to invest in the future of the Navy. So thank you for that. I'd like to thank you for the family and friends who took the time to come out to the area to spend some time in Portsmouth. I tell people all the time, we do the Lord's work here in Hamptons Roads, but I'm from God's country, which is Western Pennsylvania. So thank you to my crew who made the trip. Thanks for the willingness to share this moment with me. I see my god brother in the second row there who played football with Capt Oberdorf in college. Yes, Capt Oberdorf actually played football. I appreciate you guys making the drive. I'm also incredibly grateful to have my brother Levi and my sister Vendetta and their families here with me today. I feel like they rigged the game for me. I mentioned they were pastors. We have always been really close, the three of us, and I'm excited to share this moment with them. And to my immediate family, my daughters Zahar and Millie, whose bickering and brilliance amaze me daily, and my son Trey, who has taught me the true meaning of how to fight through adversity and thrive on the other side. You inspire me every day. Speaking of inspiration, my mother is here today. Mom, you are a constant reminder of the values that matter most: integrity, humility, and perseverance. Thank you for everything you've sacrificed. I am so grateful to have this opportunity to thank you in front of everyone here. You bring a standard with you that can never be reached, but it brings me joy and pride every day to try and meet the mark. Thank you for that. And to my amazing wife, Max, you are my best friend, my rock, and the one who keeps pushing me to run faster. I think some folks have already alluded. It's more pulling rather than pushing because you run faster than me. You don't always understand the intricacies of my job, but you understand the energy it demands. You fill my empty cup every day. Thank you for that. I could very easily spend the next 5 hours thanking everyone who has helped me along the way. Mentors like Captain Mike Malone, who helped me see what was possible. And friends who opened their homes to me in DC to live in basements that look better than my house when I survived my 2 tours in DC. You've all contributed to this incredible journey, but I'm the new guy and I only get 5 minutes. So let's talk about why we're all here today. Today marks not only a change of command from Captain Mossman, but a shift in how we will approach our mission here at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. And speaking of Captain Mossman, I want to take a moment to acknowledge his leadership. Jip, your steady hand and approach to even the most daunting challenges have been truly admirable. I'm not sure if you have remarkably low blood pressure or if you're just the best poker player to ever come out of Granby, Colorado, or maybe even Granby here in Norfolk. I've learned a great deal from you, and thanks to Amy and the entire Mossman family, I know that I'll continue to learn as you stay in uniform a little while longer. There are many of us who are relieved that you are going to stay a little while longer, and selfishly, the world can never have too few LB translators. So thank you for your service, your guidance, and most importantly, your humility. I'm incredibly honored to be assuming this new role working alongside Rear Admiral Hakimzadeh, who will be taking command of the shipyard. This new model, this pilot program, is a testament to the Navy's commitment to innovation and to optimizing and operationalizing maintenance and ultimately delivering warships and lethality back to the fleet. This is our charge at America's Shipyard: modernizing, repairing, and maintaining warships, delivering capability and lethality for our country in a manner that is unrivaled and sorely needed. As I've been reflecting on the enormity of this challenge, I've also been struck by how we accomplish it through 10, 11,000 individual contributions, each one vital. It requires a shared understanding and an appreciation of how important this mission is to our national security and global stability. How valuable 11,000 individual efforts can coalesce to form a movement in a manner that our 257-year history suggests is possible. If we only remember why we're here: the work, the craft, the honor of delivering capability and lethality. I'm excited for the opportunity to learn alongside Admiral Hack as we continue the momentum that I've had the pleasure of experiencing with Admiral Wilson and Captain Mossman. America's Shipyard is on a path that will lead the way into the next era of maintenance professionals. And I'm thankful for the Navy senior leadership for trusting me to execute my duties and responsibilities in a manner that will make the generations of shipyard professionals before us proud. Thank you, and let's get to work.
Will the guests please rise and remain standing for the benediction and departure of the official party? Military guests, please cover. Chaplain Van Dyke will now deliver the benediction.
Again, if you care to join me as I pray, I invite you to bow your head with me. Eternal Father, strong to save, we thank you for the opportunity we have today to witness this historic occasion in this historic place. And we pray for your richest blessings now upon Captain Lawrence L.B. Brandon as he takes helm of this new command of Norfolk Naval Shipyard Industrial Operations. I pray, Father, that you would give to him and his staff a clear sense of their purpose and mission and bless the work they do. May this new command serve to increase our ability to modernize and optimize both the processes and equipment for the good of those who work here and for the good of those who will be served. And in the days ahead, please give to LB a heart to trust you and to see your hand at work in him and for him. And I ask that you would give us all renewed dedication to serve with honor, courage, and commitment wherever you have placed us and whatever work has been committed to our hands. And may your mercy and peace rest upon us now and in the days to come. Amen.
Norfolk Naval Shipyard, attention. Boatswain's mate, post aside, boys. Naval Sea Systems Command, departing. Norfolk Naval Shipyard, departing. Captain, United States Navy, departing. Norfolk Naval Shipyard, Industrial Operations, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you all for joining us. Please join us for refreshments under the tent to your left. Norfolk Naval Shipyard dismissed.
Instructional Design Center.